up, residents? IGN has just premiered a brand new clip from Godzilla vs. Kong, and it is epic. And we're going to break it down for you today. This followed an interview with the director, Adam Wingard, who went over a variety of things, including how the Monsterverse could continue. But before we get into it, don't forget to subscribe and stomp that notification button to become a resident today. And follow us on Twitter, where we shared all this news before we even made a video about it. Now let's not waste any more time. I'm Alistair, and welcome to DangerVille. Welcome back. IGN FanFest streamed yesterday, which went through a variety of new games, shows and movies coming this year, including Godzilla vs. Kong and Pacific Rim: The Black. For Godzilla vs. Kong, it was split into two sections, one part being an interview with the director, and the other part was an exclusive clip from the film. And my god, it was awesome. The interview section of the show, for the most part, went over things that we already discussed about in our recent video, which I will link here. He talks about how Kong acts almost as a conduit for humanity, since he's such a relatable creature, and then goes over what he learned from Batman v Superman's mistakes, by keeping these monsters the same as their previous Monsterverse incarnations. But what was the most revealing was that Adam Wingard confirmed that more Monsterverse films are possible, depending on whether the films are successful, which at least lets us know that Godzilla vs. Kong will end in a way that could set up future entries, whether or not that's with or without Godzilla as the lead. Adam Wingard also states that there may be some characters returning in the film that he doesn't want to spoil. Of course, we know that Mark and Madison Russell will be returning from King of the Monsters, but could we see other potentially returning characters like Alan Jonah or Dr. Chen? We'll have to just wait and see. He also stated that Godzilla vs. Kong will have a definitive winner in the film, because one thing that annoyed him is that the original King Kong vs. Godzilla left it fairly open-ended, where you could argue that they both surrendered and each went on their merry way. So for those saying there won't be a winner, there definitely will be. My theory is that Godzilla beats Kong in battle, but doesn't kill him. But then Mechagodzilla shows up, leading to Godzilla sacrificing himself to destroy the mechanized giant to save the planet, making Kong the last Titan standing. So even though Godzilla technically won the war between the two, he still dies an honorable death, an event that's felt across the world, and many mourn their fallen god. This would be a good method to make Godzilla fans feel like their favorite Titan went out with honor and respect, whilst Kong fans are left satisfied that their Titan is still standing. But that's just a theory. A film theory. Enough of that, I'm so sorry. Now let's get into that new clip, which the director has stated was influenced by Jaws, which was one of my favorite films growing up, so that should hopefully mean it's well-paced, tense, and terrifying. The clip opens up with a shot of the F-35 Lightning II, which is the same aircraft that was used against Rodan in King of the Monsters, so this jet must be quite effective against other Titans. Maybe these carry a custom missile specifically used for defense against the Titans, perhaps making use of oxygen destroyer technology, because when the missiles hit, Godzilla actually reacts, almost as if he's in pain. Although the chances are he's just feeling a slight pinch from the otherwise deadly weapons of war. I love how clear this shot is. You can see Godzilla's expression so vividly. You get such a clear idea on how he's just mildly annoyed by the jet's opening fire. Next up, we see a perspective shot of the fighter pilot after successfully landing a shot on the King of the Monsters. He communicates with the other pilots in the squadron until he realizes that messing with the King of the Monsters was the wrong thing to do, because Godzilla whacks the fighter jet out of the air with his tail. Now this personally hits deep because my dad is actually a fighter pilot, so I'm pretty sure he'll enjoy seeing these jets be swatted out of the sky like flies. Now what I love about this shot is the clear visual of the ships firing on Godzilla from all angles. Even though there's not a person in sight, you can just envision the panic going through their heads. We follow this shot with Godzilla's tail slamming down on two of the ships, destroying them instantly. Now this is an epic shot with some brilliant cinematography, but the most standout part of this scene is that amazing music. It harks back to the Akira Ifukube tracks from the classics, but it gives it a bombastic new orchestra to only add to the dread of the scene. And I think it has the chance of being the best score in the entirety of the Monsterverse. After Godzilla destroys the ships with his tail, he spins almost like an alligator doing a death roll, but in the process, he gets tangled up in some chains and pulls half of the ship down into the depths of the ocean. Considering how much ships weigh and seeing how easily Godzilla pulls it down through the resistance of the ocean means Godzilla has thousands of tons of force at his disposal, making it almost look easy. And if you look closely, you can actually see bodies of the crewmates flying from the ship as it's pulled underneath by Godzilla. This is exactly the kind of grim stuff that I've always wanted from a Godzilla film, and I only hope it gets even scarier than this. Now we cut away to Kong, who's seen the path of destruction led by Godzilla and is trying to free himself from the shackles. These chains must be made from a type of metal not currently used by mankind, since Kong is using all his strength in order to break free. But potentially, Kong is weaker due to a tranquilizer seen with this green veil on his collar. He roars, using all his strength to pull at the chain before he notices the ship being pulled by Godzilla resurfaces, indicating his enemy is approaching. Remember when I mentioned this scene is influenced by Jaws? Well, this is a direct reference to the film, where the characters stuck barrels to the shark in order to keep an eye on it. But this is scaled up far more, using half a ship instead of mere barrels. The next shot shows Kong switching focus from the chains over to the approaching Godzilla, and he looks absolutely furious. As we have discussed in previous videos, Gia, a deaf girl who can communicate with Kong, could be injured in this battle, as Godzilla destroys the neighboring vessels. This might be what gives Kong the strength to fight back, although we all know Godzilla then flips the vessel, leading to quite the predicament for Kong. So that's the new clip. Everything from the VFX and the cinematography to the sound design and score is all brilliant. It evokes the tension of the 2014 film, the beautiful colors of Kong Skull Island, and the bombastic music of King of the Monsters. Adam Wingard wasn't lying when he said he wanted to make the ultimate version of these movies. This looks exactly like the type of Godzilla film I've been waiting for, and this clip is most likely just the tip of the iceberg. Adam Wingard sounded very confident in this film, and in fact, he's been given the role of director for the new Face Off sequel, showing that studios are clearly very confident in his performance. So the chances are, for Godzilla vs. Kong, we're in for a treat. But what did you think of it? Let us know in the comment section down below. Don't forget to like this video if you enjoyed it, it helps it reach a wider audience. And remember to subscribe and stomp that notification button to become a resident of DangerVille today. I've been Alistair, and we'll see you residents in the next one.